everyone, I'm Dottie, Stitching Scotty, and this is one of my Scotties, Winston. Happy Easter. Welcome to Flosstube number 166. If you've tuned in before, thank you so much for coming back. Ooh. And if it's your first time, I just thank you so much for finding me, and I hope you see something you like. And this is a video about kind of cross stitch. So, be sure and hit the like and the subscribe button. We have some things coming up. I have a lot of past fully finished objects. I have one FFO this week. Yeah, I'm falling off the wagon. And I have my Whip Go results and my stats. Goodness gracious, Winston. And I also have some works in progress. I have a new start. Oh, and there's some announcements, and there's always a free pattern. And today there's going to be really more than one, but it's kind of a all-in-one kind of thing. And it's for the Northern Hemisphere and for the Southern Hemisphere. And our featured shop today is not an Etsy shop. It's also the person that had the free patterns. You're a sweetie. Okay, hop down. But here you go. Nope. Here. Okay. We have a greedy dog here. Come on, Striker. Come on. This is my other Scotty. This is Striker. And he just wants to get up because he wants more dog treats. Okay, well, let's get started. Okay. All right. Happy Easter to everyone. And I've really had a good week. It's been a busy week, which is why I didn't get more fully finished objects done. Plus, for the fact that the one I did finish, it was like, oh, goodness. What a pain sometimes to finish it. But it was okay. But anyway, the first thing I have to show is Chick's Garden from Stitching with the Housewives. This was at a Zoom retreat that I went to several years ago. And this is done on that denim coffee tea dyed fabric they had. And what she did was she sent us all the things through the mail, and we stitched it ahead of time. And this is on 28 count Lugana. Well, we'll say even weave. It's probably Monaco. And I used 2 strands over 2, and most of this, I think, was color and cotton thread. It was the first time I'd used color and cotton thread. And, I liked it. I did. I really did. And I finished it with Priscilla's Pretty Plaids, which I think they provided. And then she also provided the little flowers to bling it up and showed us how to do the bow. Of course, of which I have forgotten. But it's a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed doing this. And we put it on with magnets because hopefully there'll be some more little things like this that we can use it for. So that was through Little May, who is now Violets and Verses. Okay, and we really had a good time at that retreat. It was a lot of fun. Now, I will also, I have a couple more things from Stitching with the Housewives, but I've already given these away. And this is Crunch. So I'm going to show you photographs. This is Crunch. Isn't he cute? He's on 28 count even weave. And I used all the Call for Classic Color Works on that. Those cups are big. Let me tell you. It's a lot of stitching. And then we also had Peep. And I did all the finishing. I finished them on little boards. And I made little stand-ups out of them. Then I also gave this one away. Everything I'm showing you today from now on, I've given away. So you have to see a photograph. I'm so sorry. And this is not a good photograph. And I do apologize because I shouldn't have photographed it on this grass cloth. But this went to my oldest son and his wife, Missy. And this says, and 2 shall become 1. Let's get it where it's not got a glare. And I just thought I'd show it because their anniversary was in March. It was just last week. So this is a Lizzie Kate. And I'm pretty sure you can either find this at your L&S if they have some Lizzie Kate patterns left, or Stash Unload, or you can go to 123 Stitch. Eventually they will have this probably. But it was a lot of fun, and I don't even remember what I stitched it on. I would say probably Vintage Country Mocha, or, you know, Summer Khaki or something like that. Then the next two patterns I'm going to show, or FFOs I'm going to show, are not available anymore. These were kits, and they came with the little frames and everything. And this was, I'm so excited. And I gave this to one of my daughters. And it's on Aida, 18 count Aida. And I used the 2 strands over 1. And I used all the call for colors because it was a kit. Then the other one is Spring. Isn't that cute? I just thought that was so cute. And that's also on the 18 count Aida. And the little frames were pre-painted. So that was nice. Then the next one, the pattern is still available. I just don't remember where I got this. I mean, I know I got it at a retreat, but I do not remember who the designer is. And if I do remember later, I'll stick it in the notes below. And it says, if anybody knows, you can help me out. It says, I love chocolate. Isn't that cute? And the little frame was one of those little filigree things that you get like at Hobby Lobby. And then we just painted it, spray painted it. And look, somebody bit his little ear off. That was really sad. And he's probably on 28 count even weave. And we used all the DMCs for that. So, so cute. And that was a chocolate chip button and a candy kiss in the word love. So cute, cute, cute. So I thought you'd enjoy seeing those, even though they are just photographs, but at least you can kind of see some of what I've been working on, because a lot of things I don't have because I've given them away to my children or friends or something. Okay, talking about the free patterns, we're going to switch up a little bit because my Kindle Fire is like, ugh. But anyway, the mini calendars, this is stitchingcabin.com, and I'm going to link it below. You can get the mini calendars for free. It's a digital chart, and you just add it to your cart. Now, if you want to pay her something, you can. It says pay what you want. So if you don't want to pay anything, you don't have to. That's why I said it's marginally free. It's like, if you want to pay her $1, it's $1. If you want to pay $10, it's $10. Or if you don't want to pay anything, you don't pay anything. But this is April. Isn't that cute? Now, this is for the Northern Hemisphere. Okay. For the Southern Hemisphere, this is April. The pumpkins. Yeah. Isn't that different? Now, we're also, and I will link those patterns below so you can look at that and you can decide if you're going to add it to your cart, buy it, whatever. But she also, for those of you that like to read, she has a book reading tracker bookshelf. And it's, everything's in pounds because I think she lives in the United Kingdom. But this one's, she's got it for 104 books or 52 books. But look at that. Is that not amazing? And you just stitch the books in the category that they're in. So that's nifty. Then here was one called With Love. It's, I mean, not With Love, but it's Sunshine and Flowers. Isn't that pretty? I mean, spring, spring. That one just shouts spring and new growth. Then we also have Tulip Garden. Isn't that cute? For those of you that like mandalas. And let's see. I'll just show you these. Well, no. Let's see. And then here's February for the monthly mini calendar for the Southern Hemisphere. And then she also has a 7x9 digital printable stitching journal. And the journal has an accomplishments log, annual goals, monthly goals, year tracker, monthly updated calendars, monthly review, monthly note pages, monthly project trackers, progress trackers, new start log, finishes tracker, wish list, waiting in the wings list, expenses, and reading list. And this is what the cover looks like. Stitching journal. And it's 7x9. Okay, so you'll have to check out the stitching cabin. And like I said, I will link that below. But, you know, I just try to find different things that, you know, you just might not come across. Okay, for my FFO, or fully finished object. This one is from the Noteworthy Needle. And it's called It's in the Bag. Now, I have no idea why they named it that, unless like they're thinking there's coffee in the bag. But this is, oops, wait. Well, maybe not. Okay, this is my finish right here. It's a coffee sleeve, a mug sleeve right here. Now, let me tell you, getting it to fit on here was something else. And they included the jute on here. But this is called, this is stained with my favorite brew. And this is not the best finishing job I have ever done. I had to like kind of make it fit. But it's done on 28 count coffee dyed linen. And I used, yeah, I did, espresso bean and harvest basket. Well, I didn't use harvest basket, just espresso bean. And here's the little coffee tumbler. So it's really neat. So anyway, and it does slide off so you can wash your tumbler. But yeah, I stitched 2 over 2. And this pattern is from Noteworthy Needle. I hope I said Noteworthy Needle. And this also has 3 other patterns. It says on pins and needles. No, 2 other patterns. On pins and needles. And, oh yeah, it does have 3. And then here's some coffees. And here's some teas. And we got this at the coffee tea retreat that we did. So that was something that I've been dreading to finish for the longest time. But there you go. So that's my only FFO. Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about Whip Go, which is hosted by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. Good grief. Oh my goodness. She has a bingo board that you do. You put your whips or works in progress on, and it's really helped me finish a lot of projects. And I'll be right back. You know, you think you have everything and you don't. So anyway, but yeah, I really enjoyed working on this time, because it was just 5 days of stitching each thing. What I did was you put your, there's 25 spaces, the free space, and you put a project in every space. Now, you can use the same project twice if you want to, or 3 times, whatever. But I do 1 whip per block, because I have a lot of whips or works in progress. And one of my first ones is Elizabeth Garrod. Oh, there it is. And it's $17.99. And this is from Hands Across the Sea. Now, I will say, if you watched my video last time that I showed this, there has been no more progress on this. I have had a few other little things I've needed to work on. Some secret stitching. Plus, I need to work on, you know, some of the other things I've been working on. But I'm really enjoying working on this. And it is going to be finished this year. Trust me. Okay, this is on 36 count. Yeah, once again, we do not know what it is, but I'm using an Auvert Soie, the green, and see, this was my progress for 5 days. And the reason I didn't have any more was because this right here, it was like an optical illusion, and I really had a hard time stitching on it. But I thought I'd show you this if you've never seen my video before. And I used one strand of a Gervais over 2 threads. And I just think this is so, so pretty. And this was my March stitch. It was supposed to be my St. Patrick's Day stitch. So, but it was a lot of fun. All right, next, so I was able to mark that off. That was square number 10, my hands across the sea. I just picked one that was supposed to be 5 days. My next one, I went to the Dying to Stitch retreat last year, and I've had this Light of Winter for a year now. And this is the pattern. I know y'all have seen it a lot because there's loads of people stitching it, and there's even some people that have finished it. Good for them. I'm so happy for them. I just wish I was one of them. But I do enjoy stitching on this, and it's on 36 count Winter Brew by R&R Reproductions. And I'm using all the called for threads because it was a kit. And I did get a little bit more stitching done. I got from here over, the last little bit I stitched, and then yesterday I stitched the house. You know, you saw this much earlier. But I'm making progress on it, and I'm very, very thrilled because when I saw the house, I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm using one strand over 2 threads, and it's got some satin stitching under here. And that's my progress so far for 5 days. I'm not promising that this will be finished this year, but I really am all enthused about stitching this one again because it's just pretty. So there's my progress. I like the angels, but I really enjoyed putting the bricks in the house. I really did. That was just a real treat. So, so now I only have 4 things blacked out or covered because I did not get autumn finished for the page, and I did not get, yes, well, there was one more I didn't get done, and I can't remember what it was. But anyway, we're gonna get on that. But then I kind of squirreled around a little bit. Hang on just a second. Sorry. I'm back. Yet again, I'm not prepared. Oh my goodness. But anyway, then I kind of squirreled off just a little bit. So, I heard contented needleworker Kim, who is a good friend of mine, even though she lives far away. I love seeing her at different retreats and things, but I heard her talking about how she was had gotten the Stacy Nash Primitives Trumpet of Swans Biscornu, and I happened to have that, and it was already started, and I thought, I might just be stitching on that with Kim and a few other friends of hers. So I drug my pattern out, or I drug my stuff out, and this is the Biscornu with the 4 swans, and I thought I would get more done. I wanted to get the head on it done and the tail feathers so you could actually see that it was really a swan. This is not the best picture, but I mean, it's a good picture, but it just doesn't show the swan off very well. But anyway, this one is on 36 count, Dames of the Needle Linen. Dirty U is the name, and it uses Week Style Works threads. And I got this at Quilter Station last year when Stacy Nash was at she was one of the designers at the retreat. Very, very nice lady. She came around and talked to all of us. Oh, we just had the best time. And she has like a farm. I mean, all kinds of little animals and things. And I would have never guessed it by looking at her because, I mean, she was just so well put together and just really down-to-earth, sweet, kind lady. But anyway, this is my progress on the 4 swans. And I know Kim was talking about, oh, I'm going to have to stitch this 4 times. And that's what I was thinking while I was stitching this swan. I thought, yeah, I'm going to have to be stitching this 4 times. But I stitched just enough of the border so I could get one of the swans started. And I'm just going to kind of work a little bit at a time and do that. But I'm using 1 strand of Weeks Dye Works over 2 threads on 36 count. And that's my swan. So I enjoyed doing that. It kind of gave me like a little hint of spring. So that was good. And then the next thing I decided to stitch on, I had a new start. And my new start was a shepherd's bush because I just had to stitch something springy. I was going to do Easter, and then I thought, no, Easter's almost here. So this is Bloom Where You Are. Isn't that pretty? And this is on 10 count Tula, and this is by Shepherd's Bush, and it was a kit. And they have great little diagrams of how to do the stitches on the back. You know, they have a graft heart and little back stitches, and it's just basic cross stitch instructions. This is an excellent beginner pattern. It really is. So I'm using 3 strands of thread, which is what they call for. And the threads that they're using are DMC and Weeks Dye Works. And this is all I've got so far, and it's on a piece of cream 10 count Tula. I've got a little bit of the grass and 2 of the flowers, which are the O's. And it's 3 strands over 1 thread. But isn't that cute? It's going to be really, really cute. And I have, you know, like Halloween and Christmas. And I thought, well, I can do something for spring. So that will be really, really good. And it's going to be a quick stitch. I just hadn't had much time to work on it. Then, the next thing I worked on, of course, was my Lord's Prayer. And this is by Stoney Creek. And I've had so many nice comments on this chart. There's the chart. And I really, really like it. I really do. I'm enjoying stitching on it. I substituted one of the colors. Instead of using the DMC 4000 Espresso, I'm using Swamp Water by Weeks Dye Works. And I'm stitching this on it's by R&R, and I thought it was Winter Brew, but I don't think it is now. I'm not really sure. I'll have to go back and look like back in my earlier videos. But this is what I've got done, and I'm doing 2 strands. It's on 32 count. I'm doing 2 strands over 2. And I almost got the word Father, but not quite. But I'm on page 3. So I'm excited about that. But I really like it. This is the border, and I need to start bringing that down after I finish this word. But I just wanted to do, you know, at least have Our Father so I could get this going. But this is something I'm trying to stitch on as much as possible, you know, 3 days or so a week. And you know, because I work, I don't have a lot of time. I work and I teach piano, and I don't have a lot of stitching time. So, you know, you just kind of have to do. And some nights I sit there like this with my needle in my hand and my hoop, and I wake up and I'm like that. I'm like, oh, I did 5 whole stitches today. Yeah. So anyway, but my friends laugh at me. They talk about me when I, you know, fall asleep and stuff. Okay, now let's talk about our announcement. Okay, the announcement I have is, in case you haven't seen it on Facebook, is Hobby House in New York. It's Pittsford, New York, but now their address is Victor, New York. It's just a couple of miles down the street. But they're having a soft opening on Wednesday, April the 3rd. So they'll be open from 10 to 5, Wednesday through Friday, and on Saturdays from 10 to 3 right now. And they said, be looking out for more things to come. So be sure and follow them. And if you live close by or you're happening to pass through, be sure and go to Hobby House, because there's a Woolworks, a Quilt Works, and the cross stitch. So you get 3 in 1, and it's just this huge, huge place. And I think the sign said it was Hobby House Landing. So I'm really excited for them. I really am. Okay, what am I going to do? Okay, let's talk about the April Whip Go numbers. Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She picked 18 and 24. And my number 21, excuse me. Sorry. My number 21 is from Sue Hillis Designs, and it's called Christmas Morning. And I'm doing this box here. And you see it's got a side, and the side has, you can see it better here. See the reindeer and stuff? That's what I started, because I thought, oh, this is going to be like, I've heard some people call it dessert. So, but I just love those pretty colors, and I thought, you know, I can stitch a reindeer a day. Oh, yeah, right. So, I didn't iron this one because I had stopped the video to find it. And there's nothing on that, except I'm doing it on 32 count Dusty Road Seraphim fabric. So, and this was the first time I had stitched on Seraphim. Goodness, I've got all kinds of pieces of stuff here. Okay, and I'm using 2 strands of all the call for colors. And I've got some snow and some reindeer. And that's going to be my start right there. That's all I've got done so far. And my plan was to stitch a reindeer every day. Yeah, right. But it's 2 strands over 2 on 32 count fabric. So we're going to stitch 5 days on that, and the 5-day thing is really working well for me. I really like that because I'm getting more done than usual and than I usually would, and I don't feel as pressured, you know, to like, oh, I got to do this, you know. So that's a good idea. Then when I went to Hobby House, I actually got to go to Jeanette Douglas, to see Jeanette Douglas. She's from Canada, and I was so excited. I thought this is going to be the closest she's ever going to get to me, so I'm going. So this is called Stitches Be Sweet, and look at all these beautiful, beautiful silks. And she's got the little symbol here on the little stitch card. Isn't that cute? And very, very handy. Okay, so what we're doing is Stitches Be Sweet. And this is what this looks like. Isn't that gorgeous? I saw that and I was like, oh, that's like a double win. I need to go. And it says Stitches Sweeten the Soul. And okay, so what we did is we did just a little piece of, oh, here it is. Okay, we did a little, did I do the pin cushion or the fob? I think I did the scissor fob. And this is what I got done in the class. The little rose. And then I started that. That's going to be the back of it, I think. Okay. And this is on Old Stationery by Seraphim Fabrics by Laurie, 36 count. And it's 1 strand over 2 threads. So then what she did was she had us stitch part of the border. So we stitched this border here, this flowered border down to here. Well, let me do this. Talk about not being prepared. This will keep it a little bit better. Okay, and you can tell I didn't iron it. I'm sorry. But anyway, down through here is our little flowered border. And then we stitched all these stitches, specialty stitches across. And she has very, very good instructions and diagrams for all the stitches. So that was fun. So what I'll do is I'll probably start stitching over the, up in here, so I can get some more done. But yeah, I can't wait to start working on that. So that'll be 5 days. And it uses Soie d'Alger, Dinky Dyes, Gloriana threads, and all those are silks. And then Belle Soie Classic Colorworks, and even a needlepoint silk. So I get to try 5 different kinds of floss, silk floss. So fun, fun, fun. Okay. So there is that. So I'm going to be working on that. Those are my Whip Go pieces, 5 days each. So that'll account for 10 days of my time. Oh boy. And I plan on working on my Hands Across the Sea piece, my Lord's Prayer. And maybe I'll pick up a couple of other things and hopefully finish Bloom and finish some of my secret stitching. Because I need to get busy, because I'm going to start hitting the road pretty soon. I'm going to see a friend this weekend, and this next weekend, and we're going to do the Two Tall Stitchers retreat. It's a no frills retreat, but it's just a lot of fun because I'll get to see some friends, and I'll get to go to Persnickety Stitches, and I'm very excited. Quilts and Stitches, I guess, because they have quilting stuff and cross stitch stuff. And I'll also get to see the Two Tall Stitchers. I'll get to see Carol and Jennifer. So I'm very, very excited about that. And then, of course, I'll get to see my really good friend, Sue. So I'm very excited. So I'm not sure if I'll have a floss tube this next week at the usual time. But if I don't do something, look for it like Monday or Tuesday. I'll get it out just as soon as I can, so you can see how much fun I had and the people I met and what they were stitching on, and see about my adventures. Yeah. So anyway, the next thing we want to talk about, and this is last, are my statistics. Okay, so I've had 4 new starts this month. I had 3 finishes. I fully finished 12 items. I had no days that I did not stitch. I didn't go to any retreats, but I did go to 4 stitch-ins. And what those are, like, we have Stitch Night at Panda's Crossing, our local needlework shop. And we also have started, I'm in a group called South Carolina Stitchers. It's a Facebook group. If you want to be a member, if you're in South Carolina and you'd like to be a member, there are questions that you need to answer. And if you answer those, then you can become a member of our group. And we have stitch-ins, in various places across the state. I heard some lady talking the other day that she was thinking about starting another one in Greer. So if you're interested, just go to the South Carolina Stitchers page and be sure and let us know if you're interested in participating in a Greer stitch-in. I don't know what the stitch day or not would be. Probably on a weekend, I think she was saying, but don't hold me to that. Ours is always on a Friday, most of the time after people get off work or in the afternoon, after you finish whatever you have to do. But we'd love to have you come to the Spartanburg Sit and Stitch. It's at Barnes & Noble, and just go to our stitch group, and yeah, the more the merrier. We have a lot of fun, and I've made some new friends already, so that's good, and I hope other people have too. Okay, so that was 4 stitch-ins. So my whip count is now up 1. I have 92 whips instead of 91. I should have finished one more thing. I made 4 project bags this month and 3 Orc containers, and I met both of my Whip Go goals for the month of March. So I'm very, very happy. The sales or stitch-alongs I have participated in are Whip Go 2024, hashtag FFO Challenge 2024, hashtag Lizzie Kate Series Sal, and those are the only ones I've participated in so far, because I can't remember if Kim had a hashtag for theirs or not. I think she was just going to just stitch along, but I'm not sure. If I do find that, I will stick that below too, because my memory was not that good. Okay, so hopefully I will see you guys next week. I hope it'll be, maybe I can get one done, you know, on time, but I really doubt it. It'll probably be Monday or Tuesday. So anyway, happy stitching to everyone, and happy Easter. I hope everyone enjoys the good weather that we're going to have here in South Carolina, because it's supposed to be 78 degrees. That's the first Easter that we're not frozen to death or been soaked at the sunrise service. So that'll be nice. All right. Until next week, stitch all the things and keep on stitching. Bye-bye.